A whiteboard with the speed of light. Out of academia into the West. It's the lone professor. Oh, damn it. Should have had the Williams Tell overture playing. Okay. I promised you a video about how do we make scatter diagrams that's a little bit better than the tag end of the video from last Tuesday, or last Monday, last something day, bloody hell. All right, so I have put this file on Moodle, or I will have by the time you see it, and here's the deal. The first tab here is example scatter diagrams, like were talked about in your in the slideshow that I showed you. Right, so I've got the J list here, the X of J, the calculation J minus 0.5 divided by N, and the Z calculation. Okay, so that will already be on your Moodle when you go there and look at that. All right, and then I made the scatter diagram of X of J according to a logarithmic scale on the left, right? And you'll notice it's very skewed here, not a straight line at all. And that is because I didn't actually use a real data set. I took the scatter, or I just took the xi's and I did the random between 0 and 100 and got these numbers. Okay, now the reason it's skewed is because the random between 0 and 100 is a uniform distribution. In other words, there is exactly the same chance you get 0 as you get 1, as you get 2, all the way up to 100. Every one of those numbers has exactly the same chance. So, anyway, but this will be on the file on Moodle for you to be able to look at that. I just did 40 numbers here. But right, maybe I should make this a bit larger so that you can see. All right. Now, on this tab that says raw data, what I have done is I put in the numbers for the lithium aluminum compression tests that is in your book. Okay, so right now all I have are these 80 numbers. Here, let me make it a bit larger. These 80 numbers that they gave us in that table. All right, so with that, I'm going to make a scatter diagram, or actually two scatter diagrams, to show you what we have to do if we want to make these scatter diagrams. All right, so the first thing I do is I highlight all of these numbers, highlighting, All right, so I'm highlighting all 80 numbers here. Up on the, up on your menus, there's one that says data. Okay, so I go to data and then I come over here to sort, and I'm just going to push the AZ with an arrow pointing down. Right? It's going to ask me, do I want to expand the selection to the X of J? Well, no, of course I don't want to. Right? So I go continue with current selection. All right. And then everything is in order from the smallest number, the very minimum number, up to the highest number. So from 76 to what, 100 and, 245? Yes. Are all in order now. Now, sometimes you want to sort the other way, and in that case, I would push the ZA arrow down and sort it that way. Right? I'm hoping you can read these numbers, because otherwise I'm probably just wasting my time here. All right, but I want A to Z arrow down. Once again, it asks if I want to expand the selection or continue with the current selection. I want to continue, sort, all right. Now, as part of this, I have to number all of these observations, and that's my J number here. So it's 1, 2, and then I highlight those. I go here until I have a big black cross in the bottom right corner, and I pull those down. Pulling, pulling, there we go. All right. Now, that gives me the my J numbers, so that here in this column I can do a calculation using those. All right, so I hit equals, I hit my A2 cell. Oh, I've already forgotten something, and that is to put a parenthesis before A2, then minus 0.5, right parenthesis, divide by 80. All right, so when I do that, I can come here and grab that and just pull that down so that I have my left parenthesis J minus 0.5, right parenthesis divided by N. All right. Now, with just this information, I can already go ahead and make my first scatter diagram. Okay, so I go over here to Insert, and I'm going to come over here to Charts. All right, and there's a little place here where it says Insert, Scatter, or Bubble Chart. Well, while I am always blowing bubbles, I want a scatter chart. All right, and it gives me several choices of what kind of scatter chart I want. But I want a freestyle scatter chart. In other words, one right here in the upper left corner of that box. All right. Now, one thing is, always, always, always label. Okay, so I come up here where it says chart title, I highlight that, and I am going to put X left parenthesis, J right parenthesis, scatter diagram. Okay, and then I just click somewhere else and it's done that. Now I want to choose what part of the data is going to be on my scatter diagram. You can see right now it's got a nice straight line. Well, that's only because it's using the wrong part of the data. All right, so it's already decided what data it wants to use, and it's calling it Series 1, but I'm going to go to Edit. I'm going to, under Series Name, Edit Series Name, I'm going to put equals, and I'm going to go here and click on my X left parenthesis, J right parenthesis. When it says Series X values, I'm going to put equals, and I'm going to highlight all of these data points from the compressibility test. All right, there you go. Now, on my other situation here, I'm going to put equals, and then I am going to highlight all my j minus 0.5 divided by n. And it takes a while to do that. All right, but we're there. All right, now I'm going to say OK, but there's one more thing I need to do. I need to come over here, right click while my cursor is right on top of the axis, come down here to Format Axis, and I'm just going to scroll down until I can click this box that says Logarithmic Scale. Okay, so there you go. Box clicked. I closed the Format Axis. All right, so you can see now I have my scatter diagram, right? And it gives a shape somewhat like this. Now, we are looking for somewhat of a straight line to show that the data is normal. But statisticians are lazy. A lot of statisticians would look at this and say, well, it's pretty straight here. But actually, because we're doing it with Excel, we can apply the Phat pencil test, which means we can kind of say, all right, we start out big here, we go narrow here, and we go out big here, and call it normal. All right, now, we're going to use these numbers to give a z-score. All right, so that's equal NORM, and you'll notice a whole bunch numbers, excuse me, functions pop up. I want the one that is norm.s.inv, or inverted. Because then all I have to do is click here on my j minus 0.5 divided by n, right click, and I go until I have a big black cross there, and I just pull all of that down until I get to 80. There we go, 80. All right, so now I've got the z-score that we're associating with this. Fantastic. Now, I'm going to go back to Insert. I'm going to go back to Scatter Charts, and I'm going to get a chart here. All right, but this isn't the chart because it's just charting the J against the Z-score, and that's not what I want. So anywhere on this field, I right-click, I go to Select Data, Edit, equals my Z of J, my series X values equals my X of J, so I highlight all of those. All right, there we go, all highlighted. And my series Y values, well, it automatically stayed on the Z of J, but if it had not, I would just come in here and go equals and highlight all of those once more. Any second. Ah, there we go. All right. So then I click OK. OK. I go back up here. I move this down. Right? Now, this is Z of J, but I'm going to go ahead and edit the text a little. And say Z of J scatter diagram. Oh, I keep forgetting, I can't just hit return. Now, you remember last time I said we could use the Phat pencil test on our first diagram up here, and that we could call this pretty normal. Well, look at what happens when we're using the z-scores. Oh my God, it looks super normal. It's really straight. Okay, so I think we can call this a normal diagram. There you go. And that's how we do a scatter diagram. And bloody hell, now how am I going to randomize? Oh, okay, I just won't save. Now, there are some other ways to there's actually one other way to look at how to do this problem. Right? If we do these two methods, we can tell that it's normal. There would be another method, but we're going to leave that, leave you in suspense there, and I will tell you another time. All right, well, now like I said, I'm going to put this on Moodle. If you want some extra credit, go ahead and use this technique on a data set that is in your book. Okay, so in your book they give you some examples of data sets in the example problems, and do it just like I showed you now. You can go through this and stop, back up a little bit, go forward to make sure that you're understanding how it's working and what I'm doing. Okay, well, good luck, troopers. And I think I will sign off with an ironic and self-mocking "Hi-Yo Silver!" Y'all have fun. I'll see you later.